Oi, pessoal, tudo bem? This is Studying Portuguese with Gustavo. We're gonna learn vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, tips for the Portuguese language, and of course, a little bit of Brazilian culture to help you speak Portuguese faster than you think. My name is Gustavo, and today's topic is Easter. So let's go. So, guys, today I want to talk about Easter because this week we're gonna have this holiday, right? We're gonna start this Hollow Week, and then on Friday we're gonna have Good Friday, and then Sunday Easter. So basically, in Brazil, most of us we are Christian, and maybe like the majority of people they are Catholic. So that's why we like to celebrate Easter. And matter of fact, is a national holiday in Brazil. Uh, is a national holiday Good Friday and Easter, Sunday with Easter. All right. So I want to tell you a little bit about why you should learn about some vocabulary, some tradition in Brazil, and how can this help you speak Portuguese. When you know a little bit more about the culture, you it's easier for you to speak the language, you know so that's why I would like to introduce this topic, and I want to say what's the difference between, for example, Easter in the US or Europe and Easter in Brazil. So the first thing that I find really interesting is because when you we actually speaking of a little bit about the uh basically like the Christian vocabulary, or maybe the Bible vocabulary. So when I read a Bible in Portuguese, actually, when they speak about like Moses time, they basically say Pascua, which is Easter in Portuguese. And they for some reason, like in English, I noticed that in English you guys have Passover and then Easter. And in Portuguese, of course, like we have like a different name for the Jewish holiday, but in the Bible, we still have Pascua for both. And now for when they are speaking about Moses, but later after Jesus, also they say Pascua as well. On both, we say Easter in Brazil. Also, I want to emphasize how it's commercially celebrated, So basically, in Brazil, so just to give a little bit of an introduction, I think we like to eat Easter chocolate egg as well, But one thing that is very important for us on Good Friday, we basically, a lot of people don't eat fish for Good Friday. So sorry, actually, a lot of people don't eat meat. They ended up actually eating fish, right? So, and then because we have a lot of influence from the Portuguese, we eat a lot of codfish. That's really interesting, right? And so this is just a little bit of introduction. So I will show you, I will basically have like a detail of the difference when you talk about commercial Easter and then the religion Easter. I will show you guys the difference in vocabulary, okay? But first, before we go direct to the vocabulary, I want to tell you why is this important. So as I mentioned before, in Brazil, most of us we are Christian. So when you celebrate, when you show to your partner, to your friend, to maybe your member of the family who is Brazilian, when you show to them that actually you know a little bit about Easter, when you care, you can connect better. And they basically language is this, like when you can connect with the person, it doesn't matter if you speak the language very well or not. If your body language, you can actually communicate it very well. So I think besides the language, your body language and your how you connect with the person, it matters a lot. And then when you understand the other person's culture, this influences a lot in your communication. And then, for example, one thing to make a Brazilian happy, for example, is we like a lot of chocolate egg, like the Easter chocolate egg. So, for example, if you have a friend, a partner, or a member of your family, if you give them Easter chocolate, for example, Easter chocolate egg, they're gonna be very happy. So this is a surprise that actually you can provide them after knowing this vocabulary, after know about this culture in Brazil. Okay, and then what is the moment to know about this is this week. So if you are watching this video in this week, in this week before Easter, congratulations! You can actually surprise your family member, your friend, your boyfriend, girlfriend, or partner, because you can surprise them during Easter. They're gonna think, oh, he really cares about my culture, and he or she really cares about me, you know? So let's go to the first vocabulary. So first, because Easter is a religious holiday, I want to speak about the vocabulary we have related to this to the religion. And two things I want to tell you guys. So first, I will tell like in Brazil we have Catholic, but also we have Protestant, we have other religions as well. Most of us we celebrate Easter, but of course, like Catholic and then other religions they celebrate it a little bit different. But I want to give you like general vocabulary, and then you can communicate with them. All right. So let me share my screen with you so we can learn this vocabulary. So first, just a second, we have right here. So first of all, we have Easter. So how do you say Easter in Portuguese? So repeat it with me. We have Páscoa. Yes, Páscoa. So now we say Páscoa, as I was telling you guys, I will say Páscoa either for before Jesus, you know, like for Moses' time, but also after. So this is in the Bible, we say Pascua. And then on Friday, on Good Friday, which you have right here, Sexta-feira Santa. So repeat with me. We have Sexta-feira Santa. Nice, very good. So Sexta-feira Santa, we have the crucifixion of the Jesus, right? So we say crucificação. So repeat with me. We have crucificação. And then the resurrection, we say, repeat with me, ressurreição. Ressurreição. Nice, very good. And then we have Christian, we say cristão. Yes, cristão. Nice. And then usually, especially this vocabulary is more for Catholic people. We have quaresma. Yes, correct. Lent, in Portuguese, we say quaresma. So I actually prepare as a little bit text. I try to make as simple as possible, uh, explaining a little bit about Easter in Brazil using those vocabulary. All right. So I actually adapt the text that I got. So we can, a lot of people with different levels, they're gonna be able to read and understand Portuguese. But also I will read, and then you guys can have an idea what a Easter is and practice Portuguese at the same time. All right. I think it's just better to you listen. All right. And then for the vocabulary one, you can repeat after me, but this one I think is more interesting if you just listen, and then we can talk a little bit about, I will explain every sentence after I read the whole text. All right. So I will try to read a little bit slow, just to all of you guys pay attention the pronunciation. All right. So let's read. A Páscoa é uma festividade religiosa da tradição cristã que celebra a ressurreição de Jesus Cristo após a sua crucificação. So remember, Páscoa, Easter, cristã, Christian, ressurreição, resurrection. All right? So, and antes da Páscoa, before Páscoa, antes da Páscoa, para os católicos ortodoxos e algumas denominações protestantes, temos a Quaresma. Quaresma Lent. All right? And a Quaresma é um período de 40 dias que começa na quarta-feira de cinzas e termina na quinta-feira, on Thursday, antes da Sexta-feira Santa, before Good Friday, antes da Sexta-feira Santa. E durante esse período, muitos cristãos fazem algumas atividades religiosas e decidem fazer algum tipo de abstinência ou renúncia, como não comer carne ou abrir mão de algum vício, como forma de se purificar e se aproximar de Deus. So the last sentence, actually, the last paragraph, there are like some vocabulary that we can check on, but let's start with the beginning. So in here, so just to translate and you guys understand. So basically, the Easter, right? We say Easter is a religious maybe you can say party, right? Or festivality. I don't know if you guys have this word in English, but basically is a religion celebration of the Christian tradition that celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ upon the crucifixion, right? And before Easter, for some Catholics, Orthodox, and some Protestant, we have Lent. And Lent is basically a period of 40 days, which starts on Ash Wednesday and finishes on Thursday before Good Friday, right? So, and in here, I think the last paragraph we have like an expression that I want to show to you guys. So during this period, a lot of Christians they do some religious activities and decided to have some types of abstinence or they uh, don't do basically for a lot of Christians, for Catholics, they rather don't eat some sweets, so they actually give up something they like during this period. So I think it works the same in Europe, in the US. But one thing that I want to emphasize right here is this expression in Portuguese, abrir mão. Look right here, abrir mão. So abrir mão, it means give in, you know? So abrir mão. So this is like literally like mão is hand, and then abrir is open your hand. So basically this means give in because imagine like you are holding something, right? And then you are give in, you're like, okay, I'll let it go. Okay, so this is an expression to say give in. All right. So they give in or they give up like an addiction or something they really like. Doesn't need to be an addiction, but something that you really like. So for example, a lot of people do alcohol, chocolate, maybe I don't know, like gaming, and in this way you reflect more and think about God, right? So I think this is really like the traditional, like the religious tradition is very similar to all of the words. So who are Christian, they will understand and they will connect with this. But this is what I want to show you guys is some words. Like I said, this will help you speak when you learn a little bit about the culture and when you know this specific vocabulary, like when a person tells a story or makes a joke, you know exactly what they're saying because you know this specific vocabulary, And then sometimes when we don't have a specific class like that, it's very hard to gather all those vocabulary together. Okay, so besides the religious culture, I want to show you guys the commercial one. So basically, and then in here we have some words and some things that we do for Easter. So we have the first vocabulary right here is bacalhau. So repeat with me, bacalhau. Yes. So bacalhau is codfish. Is this dish right here. So this is how we prepare. So in Brazil, it's a big city. I'm sure you can find it. If it's a small town, I'm not sure. Of course, like it's a small town is more complicated, but if you live in a big city, I'm sure you can find an Easter egg. So This is very interesting because later I will show you guys that in this at the supermarket when you go, there are a bunch of those Easter eggs in Brazil. This is very funny. And then I didn't finish the story about why I said that the Easter is a little bit like Christmas because actually, so this is the story. So a lot of us, when we are kids, what do we believe? We believe that who bring those chocolate eggs is the Easter bunny, right? And the Easter bunny in Portuguese we say Coelhinho da Páscoa. Yes, Coelhinho da Páscoa. So Coelhinho da Páscoa is an Easter bunny. So basically, what we believe, most of the kids, when it's more or less like Santa Claus, So when you go before Easter, you sleep, and then the Easter bunny sneak in your house, and then they will hide your chocolate. So when you wake up you start looking for that, you know, and then that's why it's fun because you look for the Easter egg and then you have a lot of chocolate, but also inside you have a toy. That's very interesting, right? And also, uh, usually for Easter, we eat a lot of chocolate. So sometimes when we are in school or, for example, at work, we play kind of like a secret Santa, but instead of like a secret Santa, it's like a secret bunny, perhaps, So we call that amigo chocolate. So amigo chocolate is whenever like you are at work or at school, you can play with your friends or even family members to exchange chocolate or Easter egg, basically. So, for example, you can play this before Easter. So, for example, Good Friday, Sexta-feira Santa, you probably will play like on Thursday, because then you can have like a chocolate to eat for Easter, right? So I at the same like just to practice those four vocabulary that we have, I adapt some text and then so we can read. I try to put as simple as possible so all of us can read and understand the meaning. All right. So let's read together right here. So explain a little bit about the commercial side of the Easter. So Catholic people, they don't eat meat on Good Friday, especially. They try to make codfish, but this is a very interesting story because codfish is in Brazil is very expensive. So for you, probably who live in the US, I know I say the US because I live in here in the US as well. So in here, I find codfish very cheap, but in Brazil, it's very expensive. And I think for two reasons. I think first, because we import codfish, I don't know if actually right now it's farm raised, but before especially, we used to import codfish. And second, because it's a tradition, is a really like a lot of people want to make this dish for Easter. So for Good Friday and sometimes Easter, that's why bacalhau, codfish, is very expensive in Brazil. And this is how we usually prepare codfish for Easter. Look, this is very common. We put like uh different types of vegetables, especially like peppers. We put olives, you put potatoes. We make basically like a big bowl like this. And then some people who can afford to buy codfish, they buy other types of fish and they can prepare in a similar way, but they use other fishes instead. All right. So this we have bacalhau. So this is also a good tip for you. So if you want to surprise your friends, your Brazilian partner, or someone from your family, you can prepare bacalhau, especially if you're abroad. You're gonna find bacalhau, codfish, kind of like cheap. So you can look it up on the internet how to prepare codfish in a Brazilian way. If you write in Portuguese, for example, como preparar bacalhau de Páscoa, for example. So how to prepare codfish for Easter. You're gonna, if you write down, if you look it up on Google in Portuguese, you're gonna find a lot of recipes on how to prepare. And I'm sure I mean, first of all, you needed to ask if your friends they like fish, because cod fish a lot of people like and not a lot of people don't like. And also, if they do, you can prepare and they surprise them. You know, another thing that you can surprise them that most of people will like is this Easter chocolate egg. So look, you guys are probably used to the chocolate egg like little, like this, right? But in Brazil, usually it's a little bit big, like not like this, but like something like this, you know? And they we have some traditions when we talk about chocolate egg, the Easter chocolate egg. So first of all, when you are a kid, usually you buy your parents buy uh, this chocolate egg, and inside there is a toy, you know. So you're very happy. Something is almost like a different type of Christmas, you know, because you get chocolate and also you get a toy inside the chocolate. And if you are an adult, probably you're gonna buy chocolate, the Easter egg, chocolate Easter egg, but inside they're gonna have other chocolates. You know, they won't have toys, but they have other types of chocolate inside as well. And then this is also a really interesting way to surprise your Brazilian friend or your Brazilian partner, because even though you live abroad, for example, you can later I will show you guys that you can go look it up. For example, you can put uh, ovo de Páscoa in Portuguese in the city where you live. Just pay attention, and later I will come back and explain every sentence, all right? Pay attention. Na Sexta-feira Santa, é muito comum não comer carne. Portanto, muitas famílias comem peixe, sendo o bacalhau o prato mais tradicional. No domingo, é comum as pessoas se presentearem com um ovo de Páscoa e dizer Feliz Páscoa. As crianças acreditam em Coelhinho da Páscoa. E durante a noite, o coelhinho da Páscoa traz os ovos e os escondem. E as crianças têm que procurá-los no domingo de manhã. Antes da Páscoa, é comum nas escolas ou no trabalho as pessoas brincarem de amigo chocolate. Nice. Okay, so let's come back and then we're gonna see which paragraph what it means, all right? So the first one, Good Friday is very common to don't eat meat. So therefore, so look, this is therefore, portanto, a lot of people eat fish, and cuttlefish is the most traditional dish for that date, right? So on Sunday is very common to people exchange Easter chocolate egg, and they say Feliz Pascua, Happy Easter. And also in here, children they believe in Easter bunny. So during the night, the Easter bunny they bring the eggs and they hide them. So children they have to look for the Easter egg in the morning. So before Easter, it's very common at schools or at work, people play Amigo Chocolate, which is our secret Santa for Easter. So this also, I want to emphasize another word right here is brincar. So probably you guys have heard about brincar or jogar. Jogar, both of them, they mean play. Okay, so jogar and then brincar. The difference is jogar. Usually we say when we play a sports, when we play a game. Usually play is most of the times to play a sports, and then play video game. You know, then we say jogar. Então jogar futebol, jogar basquete, jogar beisebol. Then we say jogar ou jogar videogame, play video games. All right. Uh, but when you say play, like a kid play, play with my friends, play, I say brincar. So it's another verb to say play in Portuguese. So I think there's no brincar in English because you guys use play like both. All right. Okay, so now that we already understood like the difference in a religious Easter and a commercial Easter, I want to give you a tip to and I showed you how to surprise a family member. Right? It doesn't matter if the person is religious or not. You can surprise them because everybody likes chocolate. So in here, I just want to show you guys how what it looks like in a supermarket in Brazil when you go for Easter time. So usually you go to a supermarket and on top there are a lot of Easter eggs, Can you see right here? And then, so that is very common. A lot of people buy them. You can buy in the supermarket, or some people start like their own business, like prepare, make the Easter chocolate and sell to friends and then sell to people in their neighborhood. So this is very common as well. So even though you live abroad, you can go buy an Easter egg to your friend or family. So let me show you how can you do that. So let me stop this for now. Let me share another screen with you guys. Here we go. So look, so I put ovo de Páscoa, just so you guys have an idea, and I put in Boston. So look, right here, it gives me some options. So for example, there is this store, that I can go and buy it. Even Amazon, they sell. Look, let me actually open up this link on Amazon. And then I try to put also in here just to guys have an idea ovo de Páscoa in London. So also you can go and then look, there is a website where you can find uh, ovo de Páscoa, Easter egg. So let me just open up just so you guys have an idea. And then maybe you guys can find a little bit expensive, but I mean, of course, like if you think it's just chocolate, it's expensive, but besides chocolate, this represents also like a nostalgic moment, right? So for example, look, in here in Amazon, I can find Easter egg. Look, and this is a Brazilian one. So actually, it depends on your location. You can buy it, and of course, you're gonna pay around like 27, 28, or $30. And then let me just take a look how much it would be in the UK. So this one that is a little bit is small, 17 pounds. Let me see if there is another one that is actually in here. There is no, let me put actually this one. Let me actually check another link to see if I can find it. Look, there are even like links where people say, is there chocolate like Easter chocolate egg in London. So you can go and find, I'm sure you're gonna find it in London, in Boston, in Miami, in Orlando, like in California. Like you basically like in Amazon in the US, basically buying here, you can buy from anywhere in the US, right? And then you can give this as a present to your friend, to your family. So even if you don't live together, you can get it delivered to today. So this one is very popular, Diamante Negro. Uh, this one is very popular. All of them right here, uh, it's popular, no? So you can go and find and give this as a present. This is gonna be very meaningful today. I'm sure you're gonna get some points. All right. So this is my final tip for you. And then I hope you enjoy. I hope you understood some words in Portuguese, some vocabulary about Easter. This will help you like to put your Portuguese in another level, bring this to another level, and also it will help you to understand better the Brazilian culture. Understand better the Brazilian culture, you can connect and communicate better with Brazilians as well, or people from another country who speak Portuguese. Sometimes they have a really similar culture as well. All right. So this is. Thank you very much. Muito obrigado e até mais.